Oh, good morning to Andy Harmer from CLIA. Good morning, Andy.
Good morning.
We're here at TravelQuest. I can see the big sign over your right shoulder there. Yes, indeed. And you've been played a major part in this. It's been a very, very vibrant and happy feeling to the entire conference here in InteleTravel. Cruise has played a big part.
Yeah, I think it always has. I've been to a few of these now over the years, and I think they've always had a bit of a focus on cruise. And actually, their increasing cruise business that James mentioned yesterday, I think demonstrates their commitment to cruise. There's, of course, been a lot of cruise lines here, and yes, some of the conversations on stage have been about cruise, but I think that probably reflects the fact that there are still travel agents who haven't yet grasped cruise and the opportunity that it provides. It's great for business, but also it's great for repeat business as well.
The other thing that I was surprised at, and you touched upon it then, was at your session this morning, you asked the question, who hasn't sold cruise? And I would say at least 60%, possibly more of the agents that are in the room, and there must have been 200 or 300 agents in here at least, had never sold cruise. So that's a big opportunity, isn't it?
It is a big opportunity. And actually, as CLIA, we have put a real focus over the past 3 or 4 years on agents who are new to selling cruise. And actually, they're now an important part of both our river event, our river cruise event, but also our main conference in May, because there are agents who are new to the industry who are coming in all the time, but also there are agents who haven't yet started to explore cruise sales. So yeah, it's good to see that there are still some of them, and we've got great parts of our website now that are really focused on those people who want to start their cruise selling journey. But yeah, certainly a great opportunity, and I think the more that we can engage them and explain some of the opportunities that cruise offers, the better.
You've mentioned, and I think you're probably, when I've been in the room, about the only person that's mentioned river cruise as opposed to ocean cruise. And that probably reflects some of the sponsors. But to move on from that, does river cruise start to provide an alternative, if you like, to the ocean cruise in terms of locations? And the reason I mention that is that obviously it's been massive coverage in all sorts of media about the over tourism in certain ports. We've had Venice, Barcelona, Marbella, are all saying, right, we don't want any of these big ships here anymore. Is river cruise an alternative, or is it just an addition?
It's an interesting question. River cruise is a really important part, I think, of cruise. And actually, last year, around 15 to 20% of people who took their first cruise did that on a river. So I think the river industry has done a great job at explaining their product and explain the fact that these are small ships and they go, as you say, through the center of Europe. They don't touch some of those big cities generally. There are some exceptions to that, but generally they don't. I think you then see a lot of people who try a river cruise first going on to ocean, and similarly you see a lot of ocean cruisers trying a river. I think it does depend on what the customer's looking for, and of course, you know, the river cruise operators have done a great job, I think, of explaining the river cruise experience and how it differs. And in terms of some of those hotspots, as you say, there's been media this summer about some of those busy places. I think the thing I would say about cruise is that we are probably the most planned type of tourism that there is. So we know where our ships are going a couple of years in advance, and that allows those destinations to plan and to plan for our arrival and to plan accordingly. And then if you look at some of those big cities where we've seen, so look, you mentioned Barcelona, for example, actually cruise guests are only 3% of total tourists to Barcelona. And actually the cruise industry has a great working relationship with the city of Barcelona, has been working closely with them for the last few years. Now, we will continue to work with places like Barcelona and some of the other cities that you meant, so that we can hopefully, as the cruise industry thrives, so too do the destinations that we visit.
There does seem to be a smidgen of a dichotomy in the cruise industry, though, that whilst you say, yeah, we've got 3% of visitors into Barcelona, that's a very small percentage, and there has been adverse publicity, yet some of the cruise lines ships are getting bigger and bigger and bigger to mega thousands of people on one board, on one ship. It always seems to me, as a novice, if you like, in cruise, it's a strange decision to make.
Well, I think actually, again, one of the stats I explained today on stage was that we're still very much an industry of thirds. So actually, a third of the ocean ships sailing at the moment are under 1,000 guests. Thirds in that mid-sized category, 1,000 to 3,000. and a third of the ships are over 3,000. And that allows us to appeal to the widest possible demographic. Actually, we've seen a lot of growth in those small ship categories as well. So certainly expedition, ultra luxury cruising is booming, and actually that interest in expedition has really exploded in the past 5 years. And we talk much more about some of those expedition destinations, but I think it is that choice that the industry offers that is one of the reasons why we continue to grow, and that's because we offer a holiday for everyone.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.